All right, let's talk about a huge shift that's happening right now. This isn't just another tech update. Think of this as a field guide for survival and for success. If you're an expert in SAP sales and distribution, you are literally standing on the edge of a massive change. And today, we're going to hand you the map to navigate this new world of S/4HANA analytics and totally redefine your value.
Okay, I know that sounds super dramatic, but for a seasoned SAP SD consultant, it's kind of the uncomfortable truth. The second your client moves to S4HANA, the tools you've spent years mastering, your classic LIS and SIS reports, they're just not the go-to for analytics anymore. The ground has completely shifted right under your feet.
And that's the big question, isn't it? Now what? Your value is being redefined as we speak. So our goal here is to give you a guide to this new landscape, to show you exactly how to translate that deep business knowledge you have into the powerful new language of modern analytics. So let's just set the scene a little bit. We're moving from a world that was comfortable, predictable, you knew where everything was, into a completely new reality. And really understanding this contrast is the absolute first step.
So on the one hand, you had the world you totally mastered, ECC, with its familiar LIS-SAS tables. You knew exactly where all the data lived. But now, in the S4HANA world, well, that's gone. The new standard is a mix of embedded analytics and this super powerful visualization tool, SAP Analytics Cloud, or SAC for short. Your entire core toolset has basically been swapped out.
To navigate this new world, you gotta have a map. So we're gonna look at what I like to call the new analytics layer cake. Getting your head around this architecture is absolutely essential if you want to speak the same language as your tech and analytics teams.
Okay, so here's how the data flows now. At the very bottom, at the foundation, you've still got your raw tables, VBAK, VBAP, that's familiar. But the real magic happens in that middle layer, the core data services, or CDS views. This is the new semantic layer that reads data in real time. Honestly, this is the most critical piece for you to understand. And then finally, sitting on top, you have SAC, the visualization layer that makes all that data look good.
Now, before we go any further, we have to talk about this one crucial concept, the live connection. This is the absolute gold standard for pretty much all of your sales reporting. What it means is the data never leaves S4HANA. The dashboard in SAC just calls down, asks the question, and gets the answer back instantly. No copying, no moving, no latency. It's amazing. So here's the deal. Your analytics team is going to ask you, do you want a live or an import connection? And listen, for 90% of your operational sales reports, I'm talking open orders, daily sales, credit blocks, all that stuff, you push for a live connection. It's real time and it respects all the S4 security you already have set up. The only time you'd really use an import connection is for massive multi-year trend analysis or if you absolutely have to blend your S4 data with some external spreadsheet.
Okay, so understanding the architecture is one thing, but you also have to speak the language, right? So let's run through a quick translation guide to help you bridge that communication gap with the SAC team.
This is so important. When you, with your SAC background, talk about a characteristic, like a sales org or a material, the SAC team hears dimension. When you say key figure, like net value, they hear measure. And what you used to think of as an info structure or a table, well, now it's just a model. Knowing these simple translations will save you a world of confusion, I promise. Okay, listen up, because this right here is probably the most valuable part of this entire field guide. This is the treasure map. You can't just go to the analytics team and ask for sales data anymore. You need to know exactly where to find it. And that means knowing the names of the most important CDS views. I want you to think of CDS views kind of like Lego blocks. You've got these basic views, which are pretty much just like your raw tables. Then you've got composite views, which snap those basic blocks together. But the ones you really care about, the ones that are the final product, are the consumption views. These are prepped and ready for analytics, and they're the ones you hand over to the SAC team. And this slide, this is your cheat sheet. Seriously, take a picture of it, memorize it. These 5 consumption views cover the vast majority of standard sales reporting needs. If the business asks for sales volume, you point them to C_sales volume analysis query. If they have fulfillment questions, it's C_sales order fulfillment query. This isn't just data, it's the specific technical key you need to unlock it. And here it is, the single most important pro tip I can possibly give you. If you need some special calculation or a piece of unique business logic, do not ask the SAC team to build it in the dashboard. You have to insist that an ABAP developer builds that logic into the CDS view itself. Always keep the logic as close to the data source as possible. It's way more robust, it's reusable, and most importantly, it's going to be correct. So,
You've got the map, you speak the language. Now let's talk about how you actually put this all into practice and really master the new rules of engagement with your analytics team.
Let's take a classic, but kind of complex, KPI as an example, on time in full, or OTIF. It's one of the most requested metrics in any sales and distribution organization. And it seems simple enough, right? But oh boy, the devil is always in the details.
And this right here, this is exactly where your value shines. An analytics developer doesn't have the business context. They don't know if on time means hitting the customer's original requested delivery date or the date that your company confirmed and committed to. You, the functional expert, are the one who has to define this logic. This is a business decision, not a technical one.
Okay, time for some real insider knowledge. I'm going to give you a secret weapon that lets you validate data all by yourself, so you can pinpoint problems before you ever get into a debate with the analytics team. It's called the RSRT trick.
It's actually this simple. You go to transaction code RSRT in S4. You pop in the technical name of the query, and you hit execute. You'll see the raw data exactly as the CDS view is providing it. Now here's the key. If the numbers are wrong here, the problem is in S4. But if the numbers are right here and they're wrong in the final dashboard, then it's a problem for the SAC team. This one simple check will save you hours of finger pointing.
So let's bring this all together now. By mastering these concepts, you're literally evolving your role. You're not just a functional specialist executing transactions anymore. You're becoming a strategic advisor.
I mean, think about the power of knowing this. That list of money views we just looked at, turns out they cover about 80% of what the business typically asks for. Just by knowing that these standard solutions exist, you stop projects from reinventing the wheel and you deliver value faster than anyone else.
And you become a proactive problem solver. You sidestep these common pitfalls before they even become big issues. So when a user complains, "Hey, I see no data," you know the first place to look is their S4 authorizations. If they say it's too slow, you can immediately suggest enforcing mandatory filters. And when a manager asks why their product hierarchy looks flat, you know to tell the developer to check the annotations in the CDS view. See? You're not just defining requirements, you're anticipating and solving problems. Your deep knowledge of sales processes hasn't become obsolete. In fact, it's become more valuable than ever before. You're now the essential bridge connecting all that critical business knowledge to the new world of data. You're the translator, you're the strategist, and you're the quality check, all rolled into one.
Look, this isn't the end of your expertise. It's the start of a brand new chapter. You have the field guide, you've got the treasure map to the data, and now you speak the language. So the only question left is, what powerful story about the business are you going to be the first one to tell?